Okay. Want to first start
Recording
out.
in progress.
Want to first start out and update everybody on Christian Darrisaw. Was holding out hope last night that maybe the imaging would reveal um, a less significant injury, but unfortunately, that is not the case. He did sustain a significant knee injury to his left knee, um, and it will require season-ending surgery. He will go on injured reserve today, and we'll determine the best course of action in regards to the procedure that will repair the injury. And I know CD will be right back, uh, where he was this year, which is one of the best left tackles in football, playing at a really high level. I love everything about the progression of his career up until this moment, and he's got great folks around him, both teammates and our medical staff that will spearhead an effort to get CD back with us as soon as possible. But for right now, I'm just really thinking about Christian. He's really developed into one of our core leaders. See, clearly one of our, offensive pillars that we have leaned on a lot, and it's going to be a significant loss. But we all got to do a little bit more. It starts with me and the other 10 guys that will be in the huddle with the mindset of not only the man who steps into that role, but also all 11 really picking each other up. And we've got some really talented players on our offense, and we'll continue to progress and get better throughout the season. We'll coach this group up, and that's how we'll handle that. With that roster spot, TJ Hawkinson has been added to the 53-man roster, and he'll be ready to go against Indianapolis. Looking forward to get TJ back in our offense. Will be a significant boost for us, and just as a whole, very challenging game yesterday, and really tough 4 or 5 day stretch here for our organization. And this is the adversity that you build all the things you do to be able to respond in these moments, and that's what we'll do. Coaching staff, players, everybody will come together, and we'll make sure we have a really great week of preparation next week. And very fortunate to be coming back to US Bank Stadium, taking on a good Colts team. Sunday night football, and we'll have to have a great week of preparation and maximize this little extra time here to get refreshed, recharged, and make sure we're ready to go.
We'll start with Andrew and then go to Kevin and Dave.
Hey, Kevin, just first, how is Christian doing? How have you seen him handle this? And then secondly, is there anything else you can share just about what specifically this injury is?
Yeah, Christian, he's in good spirits. He's a mentally and physically tough guy. I have no doubts he's going to attack this, starting today. And he's still going to be a significant player in regards to his leadership and his presence within our building and around our team for sure. And he knows that. And like I said, I think he's got the mindset once this thing's fixed surgically and he can start attacking something on a daily basis. I know he'll do that. As far as the specific injury, yes, it's an ACL MCL injury that will require surgery to repair.
Yeah, Kevin. Obviously, last night David Quisenberry took over for Christian. Is that where you look to in the near and long-term future? Is there still some discussion, and could there be more than one change to address this? And just where are you at on that process?
Yeah, literally those conversations are going on as we speak. I thought Quest, came in and really after that first drive, where there was some bull rush or different types of rush that maybe he was susceptible to early. I thought he settled in and did some things to help us. But yeah, we're whether when you talk about that mentality of trying to get the best 5 guys in there, not only those 5 options, but then what's the rest of the depth look like? I do feel like this is where where your O-line depth that we felt good about throughout training camp and then leading into the season gives you possibilities, and we'll continue to have those that dialogue within our coaching staff, and we'll figure out what the best plan of attack is moving forward. And I do think there's multiple options on the table with that, Kev, and that's what we've got to figure out.
Kevin, just wondering where Walter Rouse is in his development. I know he hasn't had a chance to play, but what have you seen?
Yeah, I thought Walter had some real flashes, especially just the power he played with in the preseason. He's a big, strong guy. He's very smart. He's on a great trajectory as far as his development goes, and absolutely will be somebody that I know we feel very strongly about the future, but he's got to be in the conversation among other things, I think, guys, to really look at what that group looks like here. Not only the 5 that we'll go with, but what that game day feel looks like with the eight guys we can have up.
We'll go Matthew, Dane, and Ben.
Hey, Kevin. Last night, a lot of the players in the locker room were talking about just how the Rams had done similar things offensively as Detroit did. I'm curious about the approach during this mini bye to kind of taking a look at these last 2 games defensively and how they were able to both do some similar things to get, big chunk gains.
Yeah, I think I think that'll be a big part of it, is kind of seeing, where the similarities were and maybe how we were attacked, and whether it was maybe it was a execution thing of, an individual player here and there on some of these plays. Maybe it was a, good scheme versus what schemes we had called defensively. I know Flo and his staff will take a look at every layer of that and ultimately, put together a great plan moving forward, how to limit some of those things from happening for sure. I think just overall, when some of those drive extending penalties were critical, especially in the first half. And then, I think when you're playing Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, you give those guys, and Robinson for that matter, you give those guys more ops by not getting off the field. There's going to be more ops for them to potentially continue to try to generate those explosives. So it's an all 11 thing. It's something that we'll definitely take a long look at here over this extra time that we have, and 100% confidence in our players and absolutely in Flo and his staff to really dissect it all and come up with the best plan of action moving forward, Matt.
Hey, Kevin, saw JJ McCarthy traveled yesterday. Just
Yep.
What was the benefit of having him, and what do you think he kind of gained from getting to be there with you guys and on the sideline, pregame, everything like that?
Yeah, Dane, we've had, it's been a really good process, both, his rehab, he's knocking out of the park and doing all the things that we need him to do there, but also what he's been like when we've been in our facility throughout the game week in quarterback meetings. Getting a chance to meet one-on-one with him has been really good. He asks great questions. He's really digesting the game plans as we've rolled throughout the season. But now the phase where he can travel, he can be on the sideline. He's in, he's part of that game day dialogue, which is so unique. You think back to last night. I mean, we're going through a process of which, we get off to a fast start. Then he's, experiencing kind of a, second quarter where really we, just, by our own accord went backwards on a couple drives and we're off the field. And then we lose our left tackle and trying to kind of adjust the game plan in real time on the fly to try to give ourselves the best chance to win. There's some things that go into that the quarterback plays a significant role in, and for JJ to be hearing those things and experiencing those in real time totally present with everything going on, I think will be huge for the long-term development of him. And that's all part of it, Dane. That's been really a plan set in place from not only before JJ, sustained this injury. We wanted to make sure we were maximizing every moment for him this year. But then certainly after the injury that ended his season, how do we make sure we're doing the things that we need to do to ensure that he's in the best possible position when he is healthy to play quarterback and have a great feel as if he was able to physically continue to develop. We certainly cannot cut any corners or miss any ops from a mental preparation and development phase either. So it's a great question. It's something I'm really excited about having him with us, and any and all areas we can find to maximize those chances, we're going to use it.
Kevin, to keep the trend going with your first round picks here, I guess, what have you seen from Dallas Turner lately, and what does he need to do to get on the field a little bit more often as a pass rusher?
Yeah, I think, we talked about it last week a little bit. I think each game is its own, and as far as the total snap counts and things like that, I think it'll still be something where it'll keep progressing for Dallas. He's doing everything from a standpoint of his preparation and growth on a daily basis that we're asking of him. And I think, Ben, you'll see more and more of Dallas, and I'm very, very excited about having him as part of our team. And that'll be something that over these next 10 plus games, I think he's going to make a big time impact for us.
Yeah.
Kevin, Matthew, and then Don.
Kevin, did you have any or did you think you needed to follow up with the NFL on the face mask call last night? Would there be any reason to do that? Did you do you have any more clarity on it now?
I have not, and I do not have any more clarity on it. That's something I'll probably just kind of digest all the information on it, go back and watch, based upon the explanation, and go back and watch, maybe where the vision points were for, those responsible for, kind of making that call and all those things. I'm going to try to take in all the information I can. And if I need to ask some questions and get a little bit more clarity, I'll do that for sure.
Hey, Kevin, just wanted to ask about Cam Akers and kind of where he stands. I know, getting thrown into this situation after the trade makes sense that he hasn't gotten too many snaps yet. But do you see him coming along within this mini bye to have a chance to play a role in the offense after this?
Yeah, I do. And I think, early on here, especially, 50 plays again last night for our offense, when the Rams had it, whether it was, extending drives with them staying on the field on some of those third downs, either by execution or penalty. We really just, we need more snaps, and we need more consistency when we are on offense to give ourselves the opportunity to continue progressing.
Recording stopped
On those first two drives. But yeah, Cam's going to play a role for sure within our offense. I think we've got a ton of confidence in Aaron Jones, and just how the game played out.
Recording in progress.
I think they're, when we can get a few more snaps, get a little bit more volume to our offense, I think absolutely Cam's going to play a role, in addition to how excited we are and fortunate to have Aaron Jones and Ty.
Kevin, how far away is Dalton Ryner, and especially with, the help that you need now on O-line? I don't know how far away he is.
Yeah, he's definitely, Don, going to be in the conversations as far as what that best five for us moving forward looks like. Definitely part of multiple scenarios here where, he's absolutely in the mix. Dalton, I believe, every update I get from Dalton and or training staff, I feel like he's within his window, but I think he's healthy, Don. It's always tough when you have a Thursday game to potentially ask a guy to go out there with with very limited reps, if at all, and during that week when you're kind of in a little bit slowed down tempo from a preparation standpoint. I think that's one of the significant things which makes Puka Nakua's impact on the game last night so significant, because kind of knowing how they prepared for the game and when his window was open and all those things, pretty significant for him to go out there and perform like that. But your question's a good one, and I think Dalton's going to play a role, amongst our offensive line for sure. We're lucky to have him, and I'm glad he's healthy and he's worked through it, and definitely going to be part of the conversation.
Go last question to Ben.
Yeah, Kevin, I guess as you guys look at the defense over the last two games here, how much do you balance? It's easy to kind of combine two games in 4 or 5 days and against two veteran quarterbacks that show up some issues versus saying, hey, these are themes that we're going to see come up over and over again. I guess, how do you balance how you react to what you've seen the last few days as you think about what to do on defense?
Yeah, I think you got to take a really high level look at it, Ben, and you really have to say, of some of these explosive plays, were we in position defensively to make a play? There was a few. I mean, that last conversion throw to Cooper Kupp. I mean, we're right there to make the play, and Cooper and Matthew just make a play. But then I think it would be naive just to say it's the 4 or 5 day stretch. It's similar things, and it's just a byproduct of that. I know Flo and his staff will take a line by line look at it, and where we need to adjust, we will. And I think that's where my confidence comes from with that side of the ball, just because they've done a lot of great things this year. They did some good things yesterday. It was just a matter of a few too many plays, some of those chunk plays that we try to keep off the tape. And I think getting off the field, ignites kind of a chance for momentum for our whole team, especially early on when we're moving the ball, early on in the game with 2 touchdown drives to start. That formula over the first 4 or 5 games was a really positive one for us, getting out to some leads and sustaining that. But clearly the Rams were able to kind of counter those touchdowns with touchdowns of their own. And then we didn't do enough as a team down the stretch to go win it. And that's where we got to continue to improve.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, guys.